Welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. And I'm absolutely thrilled to have Andra Chan from Pentagon Plus with us today. And Andra is going to be sharing her incredible journey over the last 6 months with our Rocket program, where it's transformed their business and achieving remarkable growth year on year. So today we're going to dive into what Andra did, how she did it, and the impact on her business and also her and her husband's personal lives. So, Andra, big warm welcome.
Hi, Katie. Nice seeing you online.
Oh, lovely to see you. Now, Andra, would you mind just by starting to explain a little bit about what your business does? So, who you help and what you do?
Right. Pentagon Plus actually started back in 2009, so we're about 15 years old now. It's a small boutique business. At any given time, we have about probably 8 to 12 consultants at the max. I've got a business partner, Vincent, who is not able to make it today. So we run this business together. So we actually do recruitment, mainly mid to senior level. So from a mid-level manager all the way up to even the C-suite level, covering HR, finance, engineering, sales and marketing roles, as well as IT. So these are the 5 main functions that we actually cover over the years. Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. And to start with, could you tell us what initially led you to seek out support like the Rocket program? What exactly was going on in your business that made you feel like it was time for change?
Mhm. Right. Actually, over the years, 15 years in the business, I have to say that the business has always been up and down. We have seen good growth. In a couple of years, we have hit I would say our revenue that we have hit the highest so far. I think it was at 1.4 million ringgit in our currency. But I would say year to year, there's always that up and the down. Yeah. There are certain benchmark I set for myself. Like for example, we want to do 2 million and above, but we have never been able to break through that. And I think the turning point came. I wouldn't say turning point. I should say it was the most challenging time came after COVID, post
Mm.
COVID. So during the COVID, at that year, when COVID hit, I think we did very well from the 2019 all the way to 2021 or even beginning of 2022. In 2022, I started to observe a slight slowdown. Could be market correction. I don't know what is the reason exactly, but in 2023, I think that was our lowest revenue in that year. It was tough. It was challenging. I was actually looking. I was analyzing the business, trying all sorts of ways, trying to bring it up. I even seek out coaches in Malaysia. So I went to a business coaching program and tried to understand whether they could help us. And at that point in time, I actually received a LinkedIn message from Nikki. And I think that message came to me first time. I can't ignore it because I thought it was very far away, UK, Malaysia. So okay, let's ignore that. But I think by the third time it came, I thought, why not? Let's ask some questions. So I replied the email and then had a few chat and discussion with the Center Excellence team. And then after that, I realized that Center Excellence is very specialized in helping recruitment business owners to actually build their business. So therefore, I decided to actually, hop on the program with Rocket. Yeah.
Lovely, thank you. And describe for us some of the specific problems you were facing before you joined Rocket.
Mhm.
What were those?
Right. Firstly, I have to say when the business goes up and down year to year, it's actually very tiring for business owners. And I think over the years, there were a lot of turnovers. Will come and go. We spend a lot of time training them. We put in system. We have got an applicant tracking system. We even have a CRM system. We spend a lot of time training our consultants. But somehow, I would say probably 20% performance, performers, and about 80% of them are just average. And in fact, some of them did not even perform, they were underperformer throughout the time that they were with us. Even the performers actually feel tired after a while, and they get burned out. So they left, and then we hire new people, we train again. So a lot of times I feel that I am not the business owner, but rather I am self-employed. I'm the one running the business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know very well that I need to actually work on the business as a business owner if I want to grow the business, but I spend too much time working in the business.
Yeah.
And that is a huge struggle, and to the point that sometimes I feel burnt out myself a
Yeah.
lot of times. So that was the challenge we faced, and I think when 2023 came, that was the lowest point for our business. So much so that it actually affected our cash flow. And of course, as business owners, myself and Vincent, we are business partners, so we don't mind, pumping in money into the business and so. But we know it cannot go on forever like this.
Yeah.
Something has to change, and yeah. So here we are, onto the business program with Central Excellence, and yeah, I mean. And since we came on a program, yeah, we see great changes and good changes yet.
Super. So let's dive into that. What
Mm.
changes did you start to see, and in the way in which you approached your business?
Mm. I would say, if I have to describe it, I would say we look at the business in a more systematic way, a more objective way, instead of, I think, when you have a lot of things to do in your hands, whether it's our consultants or ourselves, um, we tend to lose sight on certain important things that we need to do or we need to measure. For example, one of the very key important measurement would be how many CVs were sent out. And
Mm.
sometimes problem is not at our side. It could be client is not ready to hire, and sometimes we put all the eggs in one basket, and you lose everything. So I think we are all human beings, so a lot of time we have emotions. We use our own emotions to actually look at a job. Is it workable? Is it not workable? Over here in Centered Excellence, what we really learn is to evaluate a job systematically, objectively. Like for example, we find out which are the gold jobs that we should actually focus on, which
Yeah.
are bronze job that it should be at our lowest priority, and how do we move the silver job up to become a gold job in the areas that we can influence and make it a gold job. So our consultants have learned not to base on their own biases or their own emotions to determine whether this is the right job to work on or not. So I think that helped a lot. That was the first step that we did. And I think that was the first few modules that we learned from Centered Excellence. Yeah. And then, of
Yeah.
course, we also have the business X-ray, and that really helped us to dive in, look at our business, where the revenue came from, which client is a good client, and what is the most effective way for us to actually do business development to bring in clients. So we found out for our company, referrals have been very helpful
Mm-hmm.
over the years. Most of our jobs that we were able to place and successfully close them and brought in revenue were actually jobs that are referred by clients, by some people that we know.
Great. Brilliant. And what impact have these changes made? What are some of the wins or specific growth metrics that you've achieved since implementing these new systems into the business?
Right. I would say our revenue, so in 2023, that was our lowest year. And in a whole of year 2023, we had a revenue of about 850,000 ringgit. That was a loss for us in terms of operations. It's a loss, and we only placed 33 jobs.
Mm.
So started our 2024, actually our financial year started in July 2024. So from July 2024 to now, we just start now with just at the beginning of November, we have done 23 placement with a revenue of 653,000. And it's a great achievement because we have not even hit half a year, and we're almost catching up with the revenue last year. So this is a very clear indication of how the business has a good change. We have turned profitable. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well done. Well done to you guys. And what sort of effect has that had on the team performance and also, as you say, retention? Because you mentioned those two things were challenges previously for you. How's that impacted everyone else?
Right. Previously, we always train them on how to use our system, our applicant tracking system, our CRM system, and we thought that was the training we should give them. Of course, we put them on-job training. That means they do sit into interviews with us and they learn on the job. I would say that training is not systematic enough for the consultants to really learn the trades, and some of them did well. If they are very natural recruiters, they certainly would do well. But there are a lot of consultants who struggle and they did not know where they will start, what caused them to have no CVs to send out. So since we came on the program, we also learned from the Rocket program that we can use, for example, Loom, just record what we did and start putting in the processes, and we actually started to zoom in and see which are the area that we need to train and equip the consultants. So like the how to complete a goal job form, and how do you how should I put it? How do you make placements for your goal job? And that checklist was really, really good. So today we can actually, every week we will sit down with each consultant, just go through the list. Is that, have you done this? And it's almost like a checklist, and just go through them. Have you done all of them? And they also see their placements numbers have gone up, and their revenue have also gone up, and they are also very happy with that. And if, let's say, they face a challenge, for example, I have a consultant 2 weeks ago, and she got stuck at no CV sent out, and every other consultant was able to send out. So I sat down with her and go through the process that we already mapped out. And okay, let's work backwards. So you didn't have CV sent out. Let's see what happened. What was the previous step? Where did you get stuck? And I realized that for her, she got stuck at the research when she didn't know how to find the candidates, but she did not know that she got stuck there, and she did not ask. So once we figure out that step, it was very easy. And she came to my room and said, guess what? I've already set up 3 interviews for this week, and I can interview these candidates. So I think with the processes in place, that is really, really helpful.
Yeah, it makes such a difference, doesn't it? When you've got systems in place, it takes that emphasis, as you say, off necessarily, the skills of the people, because it's so reliant generally on people. If you haven't got a system in place, it's reliant on the skill of that individual. Whereas when you've got the systems in place, they can literally follow that system with confidence, with ease, and get a great result. And this is the difference that it makes. Wonderful, Andra. Running a business, as we know, as business owners, can be stressful, especially when you have to manage everything as well as still being involved in the revenue generation for the business. How has the program impacted your personal life? What changes have you seen there?
Definitely a lot lesser stress. When you have cash flow problem, you need to figure out how do I pay my team, and how long can we sustain, and all that were happening at the same time, that we need to make sure that the sales happen, the revenue goes up, and so on and so forth. So right now, cash flow is very much, I would say, in very good. We have good cash flow now, and we have also started to be able to put in trainings for training and development for the team. So that is certainly helpful. Personally, I don't feel so stressed out, and I think the job, or rather the day-to-day operations, the day-to-day guidance of the team has become easier with the system in place.
Mm,
Because we don't have to rely on our memory, we don't have to rely on Okay, let's go and troubleshoot where is the problem today. But the system is already there to say, okay, let's look at it step by step. Where are we stuck? And that
Brilliant.
is really, really helpful. So yeah, so on a personal note, I think definitely have better quality of life, I have to say. Yeah, can sleep better. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. And for our listeners, so we will be having other recruitment business owners that will be listening to this episode, this interview, and for them, what's one key piece of advice or maybe an insight that you would want to share with them? What do you think? If they're in the same position as you were just 6 months ago, what would be your one piece of advice or insight for them?
Right. Um, I would say trust the system. In the beginning, it may seem to be slow because as we work with our coach needed time to also look into our business, analyze the business with us. So I remember my coach Emma said, "Okay, don't rush. Let's look at a module at a time and don't try to do everything at one go.
Mm.
So trust the system such that if you do it step by step, systematically, you will definitely improve your business. You will definitely be able to then put the processes step by step, block by block in place. And in a short time, you will start to then see things will change for the better and business definitely will get on better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. That's great advice because I know being one of those people who's actually naturally quite, or shall we say, impatient.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're right, you have to hold yourself back because when you focus on one thing, you focus on it really, really well. Whereas when you're dividing your time between, let's say, two or three things, then you can only give each of those things 30%. And so in which case you're not doing it as in depth or effectively as you think you are.
Yes,
So
yes. I mean,
great.
I
Yeah,
certainly, for one, is someone who is very impatient and I always multitask. But I reminded myself, wait, let's trust the system. I mean,
yeah,
for so many years, I tried to build a system because I know that a system is
mm,
important, but I never knew how to do it.
yeah,
Only with center excellence, with the team's help, with my coach, and with your help, we're able to put the system in place finally.
yeah. Great. Well, I mean, it is about the implementation. So, congratulations and hats off to you, Andra and Vincent, because it's through the doing that the results happen. So, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. Very inspiring to hear how practical strategies can lead to such impactful growth so quickly. So to our listeners, if you want the same plan, if you're looking to take your recruitment business to the next level with proven strategies, we would love to support you. If you want to know how Andrew got her business to that seven-figure business, just click on the link below and we'll show you how we help other recruitment businesses leverage more opportunities and make more placements. And we'll give you the whole map with that. So, Andrea, thank you so much for those tangible results that you've achieved, and the clear action and impact that you've taken on the business. So that is it from us today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again on the next episode. Take care, guys.